this film here is yet another one of my favourite films ever. This film is absolutely amazing. It's one of the most romantic movies that I've ever seen. And it's set in England actually. I guess it was filmed not too far away from where I live. I think it was like, not Middlesbrough, but somewhere like that, down that direction anyway, I'm not quite sure. But anyway, it deals with the issue of racism. The film features these Pakistani people who are the subject of a lot of racial abuse and what have you. And some of the main characters in the movie, they have this ritual of picking up girls in their flashy cars on the streets of this town they're in. I forget the name of the town, but basically, I must point out there's a bit of violence in the film, but don't let that put you off if you don't like violence, because, like I say, it really is one of the most touching romantic movies I've seen. So you'll need the hankies for this one, I'm telling you. But the main characters, basically, it's this girl who gets a job in the local DIY store, and there's this guy there who he sees her when she starts working there, but he can't even look at her because he's kind of a bit racist, and he doesn't really want to speak to her because she's Pakistani. But somehow, amidst all this, he falls in love with her, but then he starts to feel guilty because all of his friends are like probably more racist than what he is, so he keeps having like a guilty conscience that he's starting to date a girl from Pakistan. Anyway, like I say, this film is extremely well made, and the acting is absolutely perfect throughout the movie. I highly recommend this. In fact, I couldn't recommend this highly enough if you like romantic movies. Check this one out, and you should be able to pick it up fairly cheap at amazon.co.uk. Next we have Loser, starring Jason Biggs and Mina Suvari. Now this is another very touching romantic comedy. I'm not going to give too much of this away, but I will read the back for you. American Pie star Jason Biggs will win your heart as lovable loser Paul Tannick, a small town guy just starting college in New York. With little cash, no friends, and 3 hard partying girl chasing roommates who taught him when they're not ignoring him. Did that even make, no, I said that wrong. Who taunt him when they're not ignoring him. Paul's life is the pits. Then he meets kindred spirit, fellow student Dora Diamond, American Beauty's Mina Suvari, and things start to look up. But if Dora's heartless boyfriend, their literature professor Edward Olcott, played by Greg Kinnear, doesn't get in the way of the budding romance, Paul's conniving roommates will. I don't know if that made too much sense the way I read it, but let's just hope it did. Anyway, this film is highly enjoyable, especially if you like romantic comedies. And Jason Biggs, as ever, is great in the movie. He gives a really good, convincing performance, as does Mina Suvari. Now the features on the DVD, you get a behind-the-scenes featurette, a music video by Wheatus, Teenage Dirtbag, I'm sure you're all familiar with that song, and an international trailer. Anyway, this is another one that I recommend you get a copy of and have a watch of it, because it's well worth checking out. Okay, finally we have another one of my all-time favourite movies of all time, which is Mannequins, starring Kim Cattrall and Andrew McCarthy. Now this movie was made in 1987, and it's a very lively sort of fun comedy romantic date movie, and it has a great score by Sylvester Levy. He's probably well, he's well known for doing electronic scores. He did the music for the Christian Slater movie called Cuffs, and the Sylvester Stallone film Cobra. And he also had involvement on this, working on the score for Flashdance. I've probably missed a few out there. He's done other stuff as well, but I can't remember them all right now. But anyway, Mannequin is about, if you haven't seen it, Andrew McCarthy gets a job as a window designer. He designs window design. I'll get this right in a minute. He dresses up windows in shops. You know, window designer. I'm sure I've got the wrong term for it, but I'm sure you know what I mean. Anyway, he puts mannequins in the shop windows, designs all the different backgrounds and clothing stuff and what have you. Anyway, he gets a job in a department store, and then somehow this female mannequin comes to life in front of him, but he's the only one that she will come alive in front of. Whenever anybody else turns up, she goes all stiff again and just becomes a mannequin once again. But anyway, he falls in love with her at some point, and there's also a great performance by Mess Hatch Taylor as the gay window dressing partner of Andrew McCarthy, and he's called Hollywood. He's also in the sequel as well, Mannequin on the Move. He's the only original actor that returned for the sequel, actually, probably because the rest were on to bigger things by then. They didn't really want to know about a sequel. But Mess Hatch Taylor wasn't really doing much else, I guess, so he was free and you know, available to do the sequel. But anyway, I've overshot the time here. Anyway, this film is great, and it's only on like 1 hour 28 minutes, so you'll never get bored. If you haven't seen it, check this one out. And if you have seen it, let us know what you think of it. Because for some reason, this movie was a box office flop, I think. It wasn't a big, massive hit. But whenever I think of this film, I don't think of it being a flop. But I guess from the box office takings, it didn't really do too well. But it's a cult favourite anyway. It's got a huge fan base, that's for sure. And I'm hoping that one day they bring out a special edition of this film, because it definitely deserves one. It needs one, and the fans, I'm sure, will want a special edition of this. And what would be better than a nice Blu-ray release with as a special edition? Anyway, that's all from me, and thanks for watching once again. So I'm going to say bye for now.